Last straw. Upon learning she is pregnant, 19-year-old Nancy Osborne car breaks down on the way to Fat Bottom Bistro, a roadside diner owned by her father Edward, where she works as a manager and a waitress. Bobby, a co-worker with a crush on her, passes by Nancy and offers her a ride on his bicycle. At the diner, Nancy is upset to discover she can't go to a party with Tabitha because Edward has tasked her to work the late shift with Jake Collins, a cook she dislikes. Four punks wearing Halloween masks and riding mopeds use roadkill to harass Nancy. Nancy gets the troublemakers to leave by pretending to call 911, but they threaten to return. As her mounting frustrations boil over, Nancy gets into an argument with Jake that ends with her spontaneously firing him. Nancy also insults Bobby by shattering his hope of them ever having a romantic relationship. Bobby leaves dejected along with fellow co-workers, Coop and Petey. Now working alone after nightfall, Nancy becomes frightened when the four masked punks seemingly return to terrorize her. Nancy calls 911, which summons Sheriff Brooks to the diner. When Nancy mentions the mopeds, Brooks warns her he just came from a grisly murder scene where the suspects were seen fleeing on mopeds. One of the masked men suddenly attacks and kills the sheriff with a meat tenderizer. Nancy runs back inside. Bobby shows up outside. Fearing they are both in danger, Nancy rushes Bobby into the diner to hide, but three masked men capture them. When Nancy stabs one of them in the leg, the injured intruder is unmasked as Jake's brother Petey. Nancy realizes Petey, Bobby, and additional co-worker Coop were three of the intruders, and Jake was their ringleader. A flashback shows that after Nancy fired him, Jake got high on crack while also being off his psychiatric medication. While driving with Petey, Jake spotted the four punks from the diner and had his brother pull over. Despondent and angry, Jake ended up murdering the four punks before stealing their masks and their mopeds. Thinking they were merely playing a prank on her, Jake then enlisted Bobby and Coop to frighten Nancy at the diner by impersonating the punks. After Jake killed the sheriff, Bobby immediately broke off from the group, while Coop was blackmailed into continuing to be Jake's accomplice. Back in the present, Jake stabs Bobby to death while Nancy pushes Coop into boiling oil and knocks him to the floor. Tabitha, Nancy's friend, comes to the diner to visit Nancy, but quickly exits when she sees Bobby's dead body and Jake chasing Nancy. Jake repeatedly stabs Nancy in her stomach and leaves her to die on the floor. Once Jake leaves, Nancy recovers because she secretly wrapped her torso in meat to protect herself against Jake's knife. Nancy pauses to mourn Bobby's death. Nancy implies Bobby was possibly her baby's father due to a hookup they had at a party. Nancy uses the sheriff's car to follow Jake back to his place. Nancy lures Jake outside and stabs his neck, killing him. Nancy collapses on the road after staggering away from Jake's place. Her father finds Nancy and helps her recover. Noticing his daughter's emotional distress, Edward asks, "What is it?" Having reflected on how her mother had to face a situation similar to hers, Nancy responds, "My baby,